Can I ask y'all a question? When does pardoning someone actually is wrong? Well, I can tell you this. Let's take Biden Hunter for an example. We seen the videos. We seen them going viral. We seen the mess. We seen the stuff that was going on. But yet Biden pardons his son, right? So my understanding that pardons become wrong when people actually commit the crime. Now you have Trump in office and he pardons all the January 6th innocent people, y'all, that are now coming out interviewing and telling their side of the story. And a lot of us knew this already, right? A lot of us knew that it could potentially be a setup, but not on the Trump supporter side, on the other people's side who have initiated what took place. I mean, y'all seen it. We all just got done watching Isaac Thomas, one of the January 6ers, who was wrongfully accused of having a plastic flag and saying that he was hitting an officer with it, which he already stated in his interview that no officer has yet to come to testify to say that he did these things. Not only that, he's not even convicted. So these people have just been sitting for almost 3 to 4 years. Some of them had good attorneys and were out on bond, but majority of them were still sitting in there facing and waiting for trial. Make sense. Well, Trump went ahead and pardoned dang near everybody in there. And as y'all can see, people are getting out. They are telling their story. My heart goes out to them. I hope they are compensated, y'all. I hope, because this is traumatized. And just imagine being locked up for something you did not do. You decided to wake up one day and go to a rally and this happens. And now you're sitting in jail waiting for trial that you may never get for something you did not do. The sad part is some people actually said guilty just to lessen the time. And now that they're pardoned, they have to live with that type of background on their names. No, I would try to fight that too. That was just me. Anywho, y'all, we about to get in here. Jake Long is another January 6th that was released. And we're about to dive into it, y'all. And we'll chop it up towards the end. Let's go.
And the D.C. Police Union also commented on Trump's pardons connected to January 6th. The union says, quote, anyone who assaults a law enforcement officer should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law without exception. Well, for a second night, we've seen a crowd supporting those who have been pardoned outside the D.C. jail.
Brother Juan!
Yeah, tonight we saw a number of reunions like that one there as more J6 defendants are being released. As our Katie Lusso found, these crowds are also impacting people who live and work near the jail.
We are just down the street from the D.C. jail. If you take a look over here, you can see there's a group of people. Over here, there is another group of people. These are both families reuniting with people that have been released from the D.C. jail. And what is happening, we're told, is that people aren't being allowed to walk out the front door. Instead, they're being dropped off in various spots throughout the neighborhood.
They're just taking us down the road and kicking us out.
A combination of joy and confusion from Jonathan Pollock. After his release Tuesday night following a pardon from President Trump.
Our president gave this man a pardon.
Also released,
I love you, Mama. Mama, I'm coming to Mar-a-Lago. I ain't going to Disneyland. I'm going to Mar-a-Lago.
Edward Lang.
This is a blessing moment. This is who got me through. This is what got me through. President Trump was an instrument of the man who wrote this book.
And Gregory Purdy.
It's not just the J6ers, it's everybody over there. There are people who are innocent.
Who vowed as a free man to fight for criminal justice reform.
I want them to have justice and for us to create great programs to help them get the proper representation so they can have a voice.
For 2 days now, families and supporters of the January 6th defendants have stood outside the D.C. jail.
I know you are.
For some neighbors,
It's been really busy.
like nearby restaurant Salatai,
We've seen different, faces that we don't usually see around here.
the manager says the crowd nearby has brought them a crowd of customers.
Today, it's like triple of what we usually make.
But for others in the neighborhood, they've had enough of the commotion.
It's just very annoying that people are gathering around here. Like, this has been going on since yesterday. They're yelling and screaming, but I don't understand why they have to congregate here.
Do you not know what Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday is really all about? Okay, I get it. I understand it's a blue state, and I get it. Y'all tired. Y'all want to sleep, and y'all want y'all, neighborhood back. But baby, this is Trump. These are January 6th. These are people like this is a celebration. You know what I'm saying? Sorry that it's in DC, but hey, deal with it. Deal with it, cause it's only for a moment. Whatever.
In front of the jail just because people are being released.
No, it's more than that.
Katie Lasso, WUSA.
It's more than that. It's not just people being released. And put yourself in one of their shoes, okay? Because it's easy for you to say that. It's not just because people are being released. Innocent people are being released that was accused, allegedly, of crimes that they did not commit. So it's not just people being released. These people been sitting in there for months, days, years, okay? Get it right to whomever that person is.
9.
Isaac Thomas joining me
y'all.
right now, and you actually got some.
Y'all need to go check that out because that's the one I did. Hang on.
Yeah, the
I'm
DC
finna
police.
show y'all this other one. She just ticked me off, whoever the person is. I don't even know who that person is. Here you go, right here. This is actually another one of them. His name was William Sparsville. So he was accused as well and moved later to Philadelphia or whatnot. So he's actually out here coming back to the DC jail to support some of the other, because as y'all know, they got to know each other in there. So they got to know that, like Isaac said, most of them were Christian. Someone was like over age and stuff like that and shouldn't even be in there. So they built a bond when they all were sent to the DC jail at that time, and then later departed to different, places or whatnot. But they built a bond in there. So this is just another story of a January 6th who is actually in DC now to support the other ones that are being released. So let's get into it.
Union also commented on Trump's pardons connected to January 6th. The union says, quote, anyone who assaults a law enforcement officer should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law without exception. Well, for a second night, we've seen a crowd supporting those who have been pardoned outside the D.C. jail.
Brother Juan!
Oh, no, it's not this one. I'm sorry. We just did this. Hang on.
I think Trump did the right thing. President Trump did the right thing by letting these guys out, pardoning them because they did not get a fair trial. That's not on him. That's on the DOJ. We run a fair system and run fair trials. That's one thing. Don't do that. Don't be surprised if you don't enforce the presumption of innocence.
Happening right now, people are standing vigil outside of the D.C. jail as President Donald Trump follows through on his promise to free people who carried out the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Chief investigative reporter Eric Flack has been there all day as J6 supporters await word on additional releases. Flack, what's the latest there?
Hey, Simone, the crowd has actually grown a little bit as this day has developed, as we continue to await more releases of January 6th defendants who were sentenced to time or awaiting time. Now, just over an hour ago, another person serving time for January 6th crimes was freed from the D.C. jail right here. 43-year-old Rachel Powell from Pennsylvania was serving a nearly 5-year sentence. One of the first rioters to break through onto the Capitol ground. She actually encouraged other rioters to attack the police line. She eventually entered the Capitol through a broken window. We know the release of more January 6 defendants are coming.
Thank you for that. You're keeping people alive.
Robert Morse was released from a halfway house in Pittsburgh just before midnight Monday. He drove straight to the DC jail to show support for others waiting for their freedom.
I'm overjoyed to be free. It feels great. It almost kind of hasn't really set in yet, you know?
Morse, a former Army Ranger, served 3.5 years for assaulting police officers defending the lower West Terrace tunnel during the attack on the Capitol January 6th.
So much of my life has been changed and different. You know, half of my friends and family don't talk to me anymore. My brother's completely disowned me. My dad doesn't even really talk to me anymore. I'm broke.
Morse,
not for too long.
Dozens of supporters who gathered outside the DC jail Tuesday, awaiting the release of at least people charged with crimes for their roles January 6th, after President Trump pardoned, commuted the sentence, or ordered the end of the prosecution of everyone implicated with the attack on the Capitol. The D.C. jail has been a symbol of the J6 movement.
Tell them all the evil you took part in.
William Sarsfield made the 4-hour drive to stand vigil outside the D.C. jail after he was released while serving time in Philadelphia. Do you have any message to those who think it's unfair for?
Well, I think there's a lot of people that have different mindsets how things should be.
And that is the door that the January 6th defendants and convicted of crimes for January 6th will walk out of. This growing crowd of those who are here to support them continues to wait for more releases as this night goes on. There are a lot of questions about why they have not been released thus far. There's paperwork and judges' orders that have to be carried out before that happens. Those who do walk through those doors, though, will be greeted by a large and boisterous crowd excited to see them get their freedom as a result of President Trump's pardons and sentence commutations. Reporting live at the D.C. jail, Eric Flack, WUSA 9.
Thank you. D.C. jail is often where people are held in the interim, so to speak, so sometimes it's a bit more complicated in terms of having them released. And I know you're going to continue to follow this for us. We'll certainly be checking in for those updates. Thank you.
Man, y'all.
Still wearing.
The crazy thing about this is.
I think Trump did the right thing.
The crazy thing about this is, though, as y'all seen, Biden was pardoning criminals and things like that, actual murders and things. And Trump is actually pardoning innocent people. When I tell y'all, all I'm going to say is lawsuits so huge. Because these people, again, lost jobs, lost family, lost the character of their name, and now they're having to rebuild and identify who they are. There's still people in there awaiting, y'all. There's still people in there waiting. That's the sad part. Waiting. And been waiting for this day. So although it's a sad day, it's a beautiful day and more days to come, y'all. The golden age has definitely cracked open. We did what we had to do to get Trump in the building, and now he's going to do what he has been screaming he was going to do for the 9 years that he has been attacked. And he showed a lot of us on day one, and that's just the beginning. Just the beginning.